This episode is brought to you by the Thrive Tribe. Check it out at chasingbrighter.com/Thrive Tribe. Today is Dominic's last day of middle school.
How does Dominic feel about that?
Promotion. He's burnout. I've shared, we talked of his disdain for his current school, and he's so burnout and hates everyone and everything. He's killing it in his finals. He got all these excellence awards. He's a smarty pants and he's ready. I've been getting on him because they've had half days this week. And so he's like playing video games till late at night. And I'm like, dude, you still have finals tomorrow. You need to do your finals. And so he was complaining. I think I've done this before. So when Gabby tore her ACL, my oldest Gabby has been driving the boys to school for a year, and she only has one high school class, which is art. So she was done on Monday. So she's officially been a senior since Monday. And I wasn't thinking that I would be taking the boys to school. Gio's had a stomach bug and in and out of school, and I did not think about me having to do drop off. And I don't want that as part of my life anymore. And I think I'm gonna be going back to drop off again next year. But I've been having to drive them to school, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done this for
It
oh
it's funny you say that, Jess, because this morning I was telling Brian he didn't have the reaction I thought he would, which I feel your pain in that one of my friends, her kids are graduating this year, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm like it's hard and I'm like crying all the time." And she was like, "I can't believe it's been like 19 years of school drop-offs." And I was like, oh, yeah. And then, like, later on, I internalized that. And I was like, no, I do not want that. I have not had that. I have not spent my life dropping my kids off. And I'm grateful that I haven't, because that's not something that is, I didn't want to have that life. Like you were saying, I don't want to be the school drop off person for like years on end. I liked that we've been close enough, like Beckett walks home, right? So I have to do
also
that. And
like
he could walk to school
yeah,
by himself. And Brian does take them,
but
which
whether you
helps.
do it or not doesn't I've never once latched that onto my identity. So as soon as I get outsource it, I'm like, peace out.
I thought so too, but you know what? So that's what my thing is. That is not my identity. I don't want to be the drop up person, but
Yeah.
I will say, I think Brian, that's his like time with the kids. And so I know even for Wes, when it was his last day of eighth grade, Brian was like, this is my last day. I'm walking you. Like, it's part of their routine that changed, is changing, or would change in that way. So for people who are going through that transition, it is something where you spend so much of your life doing this one thing day in and day out, and then it's gone.
I don't, I just, Gabby turned 16. I was like, bye. Like literally, she got her license. I was like, take the boy. See you later.
It's such,
About
sometimes you're spending so much time getting out the
it.
door that
I'm
definitely
still
then you
waking
miss the
everybody
kids.
up and I'm still doing lunches and I'm like, get
Yeah.
out of the house, get out of the house. But I love, like, I sent this to you guys, listeners. We're manifesting. Okay. We're gonna pod swap with these ladies, I promise you. And they have a podcast, Life After Kids podcast, and their Instagram, like, whatever words used to describe Instagram say, Mom is your title, not your whole story. And they wrote a book, Life After Kids. And so they post all this stuff. They're a few years ahead of us on this journey. And it's, dude, I like life is, and I think that's our goal for you listeners is that we're trying to help you find joy and carve out stuff in midlife so then you're not weeping on the floor if you have kids and they're leaving the home because we have so much more to us than this title of motherhood. Like, for instance, Kelly, who has a third business of a lake house that they're trying to generate some income in. And what is
Yeah.
going on? Will it be furnished? What's going on?
Jess, I am so excited. It was ups and downs. Like, we've had the house for multiple months. Our friends are like, when can we come out? And I was like, there's no furniture, there's nothing. And finally, I got a call that we're going to have our furniture delivered, which I'm so excited. It's 90% of maybe 80% of what we need, but it's all the beds, all the couches, all the tables.
Rugs and
and
wall stuff too.
chairs
Wall
and
decor?
no, not wall stuff.
Oh, not wall
Some
stuff.
most yes, rugs, and then like
Curtains?
some not
Okay.
curtains. So I got to get curtains. I got to get like sheet sets because it's duvets. So it is everything that you need to like have people stay there
Yeah.
immediately, which is
Yeah.
awesome for friends and family. And
Yeah.
then we'll still be furnishing it for the bougie. We're gonna have to bougie get
Yeah.
no zhuzh.
Yeah.
That's the word. We want it to be bougie too, but we got to do the zhuzh
Yeah.
part coming up. So I'm super excited about that because that's really everything's finally coming together where it just felt like nothing was happening. And so it was like, oh, is this ever going to end, ever going to happen? And then it happened so quickly, which is great because we ordered from this store called Furnitureland South, which is in North Carolina. And they are known for their whole home furnishing. And so we're getting everything delivered in one day. Like it's like we're moving in.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that.
In
Yay.
10 days ish. Making up numbers, but
Yes. And you know how it's not everything's going on. That day, Wes has a baseball banquet. So then I was like, crap, I guess I'm gonna miss that. And so we're always trying to, it's constantly balancing things. And they're just
hmm
like, you're not gonna be able to be everywhere all the time. And so
yeah.
I just gotta work through some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all coming together and I can't wait because A, I can't wait to use it, but B, the whole point of this like venture was to start having a vacation home and renting it out and generating some revenue along with enjoying it. I think that's actually going to be happening. So that's cool. It's exciting.
Yeah, I love that.
And so for you, Jess, you are going to have two high schoolers next year.
I know, right? Crazy. I was
And
telling Dominic that this
by the
morning.
way, did that resonate with him?
I don't really think, I
So
don't
like,
know. He's a
whatever.
man of, he was like, I said something. I was saying something and what I was saying. He was getting out and I stopped and he was like, that was really weird. And then he gets out of the car. So he's not as, I don't know, a man of few
How is he going to get
words.
to school next year? Because he'll be at a different
Great questions.
location.
Great, 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 great questions. So Giovanni's still in elementary, so he won't start till 8. And so Dominic's day starts at 7. I was thinking about that this morning, whether I'm gonna have Gabby take, whether I should, or even mom and dad, whatever, to take Giovanni to school or Dominic to school. So I was telling Dominic I would like to drop him off at 6:30. He's not excited about this plan, but as you and I have said, life's too short to sit in car loop. We're gonna make t-shirts. Life's too short to sit in a car loop. So I want to be there
Yes,
right when school
100%.
opens that he can be there. They did have free
Okay.
breakfast and free lunch this year, but they also have that cafe because they have a culinary program. So I want to drop him off early and try to get him to go to the cafe and be excited about going and getting food there and
How
also
far is school from you guys, for him?
like 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if you ever were at my office over there. You know where Ethel M is from my house, the cactus garden? You just hop on a street and go
North.
straight down. You
Is
just
it
like
north of
go
you?
straight. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
it's like
just like
Sunset
one
and
road straight
something,
north.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
I
And
know
so
what you're
it's
talking
right
about.
there. It's like a block away from there,
But
like
that's quite in the
12 minutes
opposite
away.
direction of where Giovanni
Yeah, but
will
he
be.
starts at a different time. So
Yeah.
so with Dominic having a November birthday, it's just going to be tricky when Dominic's a sophomore because he won't be able to drive for a few months, but he'll be 16 like 2.5 months after school starts. So then I would just have him drive himself.
His
So it's,
second year.
yeah. So because Giovanni will then be in middle school and his day will start
Mm.
earlier. As we've talked in previous episodes, Gio might not go to the school he's at. And if he goes to his own school, I'm having him take the bus or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the middle school that we're zoned
Hmm.
for is, let's say, 5 to 7 minutes away if I did do drop off, or maybe I do know some
Okay.
families in the area.
Okay.
Maybe we could do some sort of carpool situation. But anyway, so my thought was drop him off at 6:30. If I could be home at 7, wake up Gio. Gio doesn't take any time to get ready. Leave at 7:30. But then I was thinking today, I was like, God, that would be really crazy morning. That's a really crazy thing to do to start off my day. So I sometimes struggle with asking for help. So how would I ask for help there and see if that could be something mom and dad could do or make or have Gabby get up, like literally roll out of bed and drop a kid off. So
Is there a
trying
way
to
that Dominic can take transportation to get to school?
No, because it's a magnet school and they're only, you have to be in a certain zone or just outside a zone.
And he can't take a bus or something like a public transportation such?
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't even know how to navigate that. Could he? Yes, but that would be, he would probably have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Also,
Oh,
the other
okay.
thing as I'm talking to you, if he were dropped off at 6:30, that's something that Justin could do. Like Justin could take
I
him,
actually
have him
drop
dropped off at 6:30 and go.
I drop Wes off and then I come back to make Beck wake up Beckett, make Beck
Yeah.
breakfast. I have been doing that every single day for the last 8 weeks ish, give or take, because he's got baseball. And so I just been like more accommodating for him to do that. But outside of that, usually 2 to 3 days a week, he can take the bus. But to your point, he can take a public transportation bus that is a single bus that drops him off. He picks it up a half a block from our house and he gets dropped off a half a block from school. So it's very convenient to just take the public transportation, which I know isn't as
He
easy for you
could.
guys.
He might even be motivated. I have an e-bike and he could be motivated to take the e-bike. I don't know the safety situation at the new school or what
Yeah.
that's like.
Yeah.
But again, we could shake things up where his dad would get up and take him and that we could see what that would look like. But yeah, but now I'm super excited for the summer. Listeners, we've got some awesome June episodes, so stay tuned.
Thanks for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe so you can hear our latest episodes as soon as they drop.
If you loved today's episode, share with a friend. Find us on Instagram, Facebook at Chasing Brighter, or check out our blog at chasingbrighter.com and follow us. If you want to know more about Kelly and I, read our blogs, find more tips, tools, and resources, check that out at chasingbrighter.com. Thanks. Remember, your best life is just a listen away.